7 collectibles. Today we're going to be checking out something which I have wanted for such a long time, and I've finally managed to get my hands on one. The AKIRA Kanedas Bike in 1/6 scale by a combination of Tamashi Nations and Bandai. Now, I missed out on, I love AKIRA as a movie. It's been one of my favourites since I was a teenager in the 90s, and I missed out on the first release. At the time, it was just far too much money. Now, I'm glad they've released it again as a second bite of the cherry, and I'm so happy this has finally arrived into the collection. Just the bike today, Kaneda has not been released as yet, the second version or wave as it were. Still waiting on that, have it on pre-order, and hopefully we'll be able to marry that figure up with this bike eventually. But today we're going to get this out of the box, take a closer look and see what the fuss is all about with Kaneda's bike. So it's a rather large box which I haven't opened as yet. This arrived yesterday. I bought it from Amazon of all places. Difficult to get into the UK. I believe Sideshow were offering it, but I couldn't get it in the UK. It was an American or Japanese release only. So a bit disappointed, and I had options to get it from Hong Kong sellers in past, and eventually found one on Amazon UK, which I ordered about 5 weeks ago, because they said it wasn't in stock at the time and they would email me once they had it in stock. And I got an email on Thursday to say it would be arriving on Friday. So I was really excited that Amazon managed to find me one. Total cost of this, it is an expensive one. £600, just a couple of pounds shy of £600. So it isn't a cheap collectible. It's the same value, I guess, as two Hot Toys figures. But I think as 1/6 vehicles go, especially ones that are in die cast and have lights and sounds, I think £600 isn't too bad a price. Right, there we go. Oh. Let me spin this round, give you a closer look at this. You can see the size of it, and it feels as if it's got a bit of weight to it. I'm really looking forward to this, it. So there's the bike itself, and I believe somewhere there'll be all the panels. Let me put that back in, need to work out where all the panels are. So here we are, the bike and all the panels in the two halves. Everything's wrapped in plastic, so I'm going to go ahead, unbox all this, get all the plastic off, set it up, and we'll take a closer look. Okay, so here we have the bike and all the parts now laid out on the table. And I have to be honest, I'm super impressed already. This bike weighs quite a substantial amount. I've already flipped it over and put in the 3 AAA batteries that's required for the lights and sounds. When I look at these parts, they're very, very well painted. There does seem to be some sort of residue on them, so I'll just give them a quick wipe with a dry cloth. But the paint application largely is absolutely flawless after inspecting all of these parts. And what's really cool about it is that all the correct stickers have already been applied to the bike panels, and all of them have magnets, from what I can tell, on every single one of them, which makes applying them to the bike extremely straightforward and easy. Now, I haven't read the instructions, so I've absolutely no idea which part goes on and where. I was hoping it was going to be relatively intuitive, but to be honest, I think I'm going to have to get the instructions out just to make sure I'm putting the right panels in the right place. But so far so good. It's an incredible piece. and nothing is broken, everything looks good. So yeah, let's get the instructions out and let's see how to put these panels on. So before we put the panels on, I thought I would just take a minute to show you the detail on the bike itself without the covers on. Hopefully the camera's focusing and picking this up, but you can see the detail that's went into this is phenomenal. You have lots of cables and wires moving around to the other side. We have pistons with lots of chrome parts, the wheels themselves, and then coming round to the control panel, you can see on the control panel there, let's do that properly. You have some nice graphics, you have buttons on the handlebars, the grips are awesome. Close up of what is a sat nav below with the radio and controls. The seat is a kind of rubberized plastic and it does come off. It's a nice touch. And like I said, just overall in general, the bike is a phenomenal piece. Rubber tyres, big thick rubber tyres, and then all these pieces are painted flawlessly. Let's have a closer look at some of those. I've got the instructions out, they're not great, but we'll work our way through it. Right, so one thing I'm already noticing is the stand for the bike isn't great. I might have to, I don't know if I'm doing it correctly or not, but you've literally got a wee stand that you can pull out, or a wee black circle which you put underneath the bike. We'll look at that later on, but so far, when we open the instruction booklet, you do have some nice, it's obviously all in Japanese, but you have some nice graphical representations of what everything's doing and what the parts are for. It doesn't necessarily give you step-by-step instructions on how to apply the panels, but we're going to have a go at applying them in the best way that we can. So, where do you start? Let's start first of all with the front wheel covers. So I'm going to apply this one on this side, which clips in really nicely, and this one on this side. Magnets just clip it on really, really nice. Let's now go for the back wheel covers. We have this one, which goes on this side. Again, they just snap into place. And this one goes on this side. Again, just snapping into play. I reckon this piece fits under and over. If you can get that just right. Maybe not. Let's take that off again. Okay, this one's proving to be a bit fiddly. Definitely does fit in there. Okay, let's come back to that part. These bottom rail covers go on here and here. It's kind of engine covers. And then let's put the cowl on. That fits nicely on there. Then we'll take this one and apply that to the front. Which goes on like that. And this one, it's almost as if the parts and the components are dragging themselves towards the actual bike. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of you know, messing about required. They just kind of pull themselves onto the actual bike. I actually think this part is wrong. Hang on. We'll get there eventually. Yeah, I'm not entirely certain now. This is the point where you think, right, what am I doing wrong? So this is the top engine cover. That'll go in like that. Okay, I'm going to pause the video, let me have a look at what these parts are doing and I'll come back. Okay, so we're back. I worked out where the parts go. So this part goes right the way underneath this cowl section and clips in there. So there's a gap between this panel and this panel. This part has to go on the top section here, like so. This isn't a magnetic part. You can see there's just these wee kind of plastic clips which drive the way home onto the top section here. That then allows you to put the top cowl on, and then you can put on the side panels onto here. So there we are. The AKIRA bike is built, and wow, that is phenomenal. Now there is a switch on this that has lights and sounds. Let me just try and locate the switch. It looks as if light and sound mode. So there's a speaker on this. Just lift this up and we'll have a look for this switch, which is on the back. There we are. So I'm not certain this is going to come off in camera. I will do a close-up, but already you have the green lights around the wheels lighting up. We have a flashing indicator on both sides, and the central console has lit up as well. And I believe when you press the accelerator pedal or the brake pedal, it makes sounds. This is amazing. I've also worked out the stand is actually works a bit better. You pull this section out and it then allows you to lean the bike without this little plastic doodah underneath it, and that'll come in very handy with when Kaneda's sitting on the bike. Let's get the camera now in hand and do some close-ups. So we'll start with this side of the bike, and honestly, pictures and video are not going to do this bike justice. You can see the paintwork, the finish, the lighting. I'm actually going to switch all the lights off in the room so you can have a better idea of the lights. You push this pedal down here. Speaker behind the back wheel. The bike can do just lights, or it can do lights and sound. I think actually the batteries that I've got aren't tremendously great, but you can see it's a bit dimmer than what it was when I first switched it on. That's more than likely because the batteries are not at full power. But you can see the lights there. And if we move round to the other side, the console does light up as well. If we move round to the other side, here's the bike in close up. So this is fantastic. It's been well worth the wait. I'm delighted with that. I cannot wait to get Kaneda sitting on this bike. This is going to be an absolute centrepiece of my collection because I do love AKIRA that much. So thank you very much for checking this video out. I may do a follow-up later on when we've got Kaneda. In fact, I will definitely be doing a follow-up later on. Thanks for checking the video out. Please do have a look at all the other videos on my channel. If you like what you've seen, do give me the thumbs up. That's very much appreciated. New content coming out weekly, so do subscribe if you'd like to see some more. But until the next time, thank you very much and take care.